So let's get started. Why leadership? Now, before we and I want to make this webinar as interactive as I possibly can. Before we talk about why leadership, I would really love to ask all of you, when you think about leadership, it could be, in terms of leaders you've worked with, or what you've seen in the media, or what you've read or researched or been exposed to, or how you see yourself as a leader. What words come to mind? Like, how would you describe leadership? I'd love to hear your thoughts. What words come to mind? Leadership. I'd like you to write in the chat box. What words to you means leadership? What does leadership mean to you? What does leadership mean to you? Excellent. Inspiration, strength, knowledge, great inspiration. Okay, I'm seeing a few inspirations there. Great, supportive, engagement, high emotional intelligence, good coach, people focused on people, knowledge, inspiration. Excellent. Okay, now there's some awesome words there. Okay, why? Why is leadership important? Obviously, you're all really interested in being part of this leadership journey that I'm taking you on. Tell me, why does leadership matter? I'd love to know your thoughts. Why does leadership matter? Okay, great. Cara, to inspire everyone to achieve common goals. Okay, I know that there's some other whys out there. I'm taking you all on a journey here. Why? Yes, absolutely, Chris. Any enterprise achieves results through people. To have clearer goals, absolutely, you need to know where you're going. You need to know the direction. You need to know, what targets you need to meet, your goals. Fantastic. Okay. Yep, people need leadership to focus, for support. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Viv. Okay. So we can kind of get a sense of, well, it seems like that we've been exposed to leadership. It's also, we understand why leadership matters. So let me ask this question. And this is an interesting question for me, and this is why this particular topic around leadership as an attitude is important to me. Leadership is a mindset, leadership is an attitude. Let me ask you this. Who on this webinar sees themselves as a leader? Who sees themselves as a leader? And I know it's a pretty confronting question, but I'd like you to tell me, who here sees themselves as a leader? Right in the box there. Who sees themselves as a leader? Don't be scared. I know you can do it. Okay. Yes, great. Yes, whether I like it or not. Yes, I do. Great. I do. Excellent. Okay. So it's great to see that some of you put your hand up. I know that's a little bit of a confronting question, and it's interesting when we work in terms of the coaching work we do and the events and programs, when I ask this question, what I find really interesting is that, and I know it is a bit of a confronting question, I'm sure some of you do see yourself as a leader and you do want to kind of put your hand up there. Most people we work with don't see themselves as leaders, because I think it's due to the fact that they see leadership about and it's not about title. Leadership is absolutely not about title. You don't have, CEO or managing director in your title to be a leader. Leadership is about action. It's absolutely about action. It's about attitude. It's about mindset. It's about, and this is why I'm taking you on this amazing journey, and I'm so pleased that you're part of this free e-course, because it's about making a difference, and it's not about position. We can all be leaders. We are all leaders. We are absolutely all leaders. And I think what's important when it comes to leadership is to start seeing and believing that you are a leader right now. Just start now. And obviously you're on this course because you are really passionate about leadership. You see yourself as a leader, or you want to be a leader. Start. I love this quote. Your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your altitude. Absolutely, it's about your attitude, how you see yourself. Because attitude absolutely reflects leadership. It's about waking the reason why attitude is really important and how I started was about my background's in human resources, and about a decade ago I was living and working in China. I'd moved over to China to follow my husband's career, and we had a 2-year-old at the time, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to start working over here in China, and I got this great part-time role. And then I ended up, having this amazing time in Shanghai working over there, and then my whole world fell apart. And I'd become this full-time solo parent over there, and I had no idea what I was going to do at the time. My daughter, she was about 4 years old, and I ended up moving back to Australia, and I had $2,000 in the bank, and I had this really crappy car, and I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Who's going to want to work, or who's going to want to employ a full-time solo mum who, and I think it was more my mindset than what was going on in the industry, but I started to reinvent myself, and I ended up meeting someone that worked in the leadership development space. And I remember sitting there, and he looked at me and he said, I'm looking for someone to coach and teach and facilitate leadership on, construction sites, and work with engineers and superintendents. Can you do this? Leadership. And I sat there and looked at him and I said, I don't know much about leadership. And I thought, please don't ask me any questions. And I ended up getting the job, and I ended up working, I completely reinvented myself, and I think it was because survival mode kicked in, but I started working on construction sites. I started working with these leaders and these teams and these organisations, and I completely fell in love with it. I saw the difference I was making with them in terms of how they saw themselves as leaders, in terms of their self-belief, their attitude, their capability, and it was only then did I start seeing myself as a leader. I thought, here I am making a difference to all these people's lives. I'm building great leadership. I'm building great teams with, obviously, they were doing it, but I was coaching, facilitating, and educating them. And, now I look back and I think to myself, wow, if there's something I would tell my younger self, it would be to start seeing myself as a leader right then and then. If I reflect back on, experiences at high school, you know, whether it was that I was the head of the debate team or, you know, I was captain of the sports team or, you know, I started the student council at university, is that I started to show leadership capabilities back then, but I didn't see it as leadership. And it's interesting that when I work with leaders, when they start to reflect back on their lives and their experiences and their journey, that they start to see that they were leaders but they never saw it, is that they actually made a difference. And that's how I came to where I am today, that I fell in love with this space of leadership because I looked at that my mindset, I knew I could do it, I knew I was making a difference, because that's what leadership is about, is making a difference to others. It's about being supportive, it's about inspiring, it's about coaching, it was about, you know, being the best I could be for others. And that's why leadership, in terms of how you see yourself and an attitude and mindset, makes a difference. And now here I am in terms of, you know, several years later, speaking about this stuff because I'm so passionate about it, because leadership matters, leadership makes a difference. Leadership, absolutely, and we're all leaders in this world. Every single one of us is a leader in this world. I absolutely believe leadership can be learnt. And your mindset and your attitude changes everything. How you see yourself and how you can be the best you can. And leadership starts with your attitude. It starts with and how you want to make it. It's about being you. With so many leaders, and I work with these teams, it's amazing how they're trying to be someone else or trying to be someone else. And some great leaders in my life. I worked with some really bad ones, and sometimes you can learn some great things from bad leaders. In them that I have in me, but at the end of the day, it's about you. It's about being you. It's about understanding who you are as a leader, understanding your values, understanding your strengths, understanding your talents, understanding your purpose, understanding who you are as a leader. And I know that's a journey, but the more you can understand others, the more you will be able to understand. So the more you're able to understand yourself, the more you're going to be able to understand others. Because at the end of the day, you are truly unique. You are absolutely unique. We have got 7.3 billion different brains on this planet, and we all bring something unique to this world, and it's about focusing on you. Because at the end of the day, and I love this quote by Coco Chanel, because I want you to really make you unique. Your style, you know, how you like to communicate, you know, what is your purpose? What talents is irreplaceable, what always must be different. I, again, you know me, I love to, you know, put it out there, ask questions. Tell me what makes you different. What makes you different? Sorry about that, Cara. The question was, what makes you different? Tell me what makes you different as a leader. Yep, absolutely. Casey, we all have our own personal experience that we bring to the table. What else makes you different? I think I've learned that I get more from people the more I support them. Great. It's amazing you know what, our brains are social organs. You know, it's amazing when you care about people, they really do give back. Anyone else? Having the ability to genuinely and authentically empathise with those around you. Fantastic. Thank you, Alex. And absolutely, it's so important. Empathy and authenticity. Excellent. Okay. I'm glad you mentioned authenticity, Alex, because it's definitely authentic. I'm a great advocate and believer in authentic leadership, and there's some great research and resources out there, because being authentically who you are is the only way to be when it comes to leadership. And it's about understanding who you are as that authentic person. I'll tell you this interesting story. Last year I worked with a leader. She was part of one of my programs, and I remember before she came on the program, I put all my leaders through a leadership assessment similar to a Leadership 360, and she went through this assessment, and it was interesting seeing the feedback that was coming back about her. So she came, and I was quite surprised. I thought, wow, this will be an interesting program, because the feedback coming out about her was quite, some of it was quite harsh, it was a little bit negative, and some of it was great as well. But she was on the program, and I thought to myself, what I was seeing in her assessment and how she was acting and behaving on the program, she seemed to be quite different. So I pulled her up during the break and I said to her, hey, I mean, how did you feel about the assessment, and, you know, how are you feeling about, you know, the program? And anyway, she burst into tears on the program because she realised, and she feedback, was that she wasn't being authentic. She was how people saw her and how they gave her feedback in terms of, you know, how she was as a leader, and it was pretty much complete opposites. And I said to her, what's going on? And she said, look, Sonia, I'm actually trying to act differently because I'm trying to fit into the system. I'm trying to fit into how they expect me to behave within my team, within the organisation, and it's causing me a lot of stress. I'm not being authentic. And I thought, wow, I mean, that is really tough. That's really tough. And, you know, she left the program and she went back to work, and she just, you know, it was wonderful hearing the stories back from her, because she decided and she saw that she needed to be authentic. She needed to own who she was. She needed to focus on, this is me. This is my values. This is who I am as a leader. This is what leadership means to me. And she owned it. And because she was her natural self, the difference it made in terms of her capability and her confidence was remarkable. But she was acting different. So it's really important that you be true to who you are and you be your authentic self as a leader, because that is who you are. That is all about the attitude that you have when you turn up every day as a leader. Because I want each and every one of you to wake up every day and just be the best version of you, the best version of you, and be on this journey to understand who you are as a leader. I believe that leadership is also about confidence. It's about self-belief. It's interesting when we talk about leadership. I have so many leaders that are very focused on this confidence. Yeah, I get it. You know, I think that leadership capability and gaining skills in leadership is so important. It's vital. However, I believe confidence matters just as much, if not a little bit more, than competence. I believe that if you can start, if you don't see yourself as a leader, if you actually don't believe, if you don't have the self-belief, if you don't have the attitude, if you don't see yourself as a leader, I could teach you all the leadership skills under the sun. I could teach you how to influence. I could teach you how to inspire, how to motivate. You know, I could teach you all the skills. And look, and yeah, you know what? Leadership skills and capability does matter. But I believe in teaching confidence and self-belief, and I want you to start seeing yourself as a leader and having that leadership attitude first and foremost. When you start to see that you're a leader, then the confidence, you will be more open and engaged, and your mind will be more open. There's no point in me sitting here coaching you and teaching you and believing that you're a leader. Now, you'll find through this course that I'm really, and attitude definitely does matter. Attitude, your mind. It all starts with your most powerful tool. It's your brain. Absolutely. And thoughts have power. I've been researching this, and I'm not trying to be soft and fluffy here, but absolutely thoughts have power. Focus on and what you believe matters. It'll start focusing on why you write. One of our webinars during this course is about confidence, and it's to neuroscience, the thoughts and why they have so much power. I want to set your mind, just spend a couple of minutes sitting, having some quiet time, and I'm going to be the best I can today, and I'm going to rock as a leader. Start as a leader because you are, I love this picture, of your mind. And I like to mind as a stage. You know, you've got this beautiful stage with all these thoughts. All these thoughts. Amazing stage, which you want. And you are the director of that mind, and you're sitting there and you play out, you know, and you see the stage. Now, if you and they're, you know, pretty negative and not acting very well, no one's going to want to buy tickets to that play. You only want to have award-winning leadership attitude actors on that stage. Absolutely. You need to squash or get rid of that, only have award-winning actors on that stage, because your mind doesn't control you. You control your mind. You control what thoughts you have on that stage. You also control how you see the world, and you control your leadership attitude. I want you to focus on having a leadership attitude. The other thing I think that's really important in terms of leadership is not being afraid to fail, but being afraid more not to try. There's so many leaders that we work with that don't want to put up their hand, or they don't want to go for the challenge, or they don't want to put their hand up for that role, or because they're scared. They're afraid. They're like, what happens if I fail? And Life's way too short. Put your hand up. Say yes to that project. Say yes to that. You know what? Again, as you know, we're not perfect. We're humans. Each and every one of you is to go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Be the best you can. Be a leader. Don't be scared to fail. I have also learned my greatest learnings from my faith out there, because if you're a part of this cause, you want to be the best you can be, and sometimes things don't work out, but that's okay. Just make sure you keep trying and you keep learning, you keep your mind up, just keep learning. I'm constantly learning. You know, I even say I should take a study expert because I want to keep learning. I wish I could go back in time. I would, you know, go back to university, give myself, a number of leadership books and go, so let's start reading leadership now because it absolutely matters. And it's great to be competent, but you know what? If you're out there making a difference and if you're inspiring others and you're supporting and engaging and you're able to make a difference with people around you, that is leadership. Because at the end of the day, the more inspired and the more beautiful your mind is and the more empowered and, you know, the more you see yourself as a leader, the more you are going to inspire others. And it makes a difference. Beautiful mind inspire others. And I'm sure you have worked with people that are that glass and you go, oh my gosh, you're so great. Have that view. You know, you see the greatness in everything and embrace and you want to inspire others. That is what leadership is. And leadership, you as a collective leadership group, it's about how you can be the best for yourself but also be the best for others. I love this quote. He says that the people say we ourselves, because leadership is about all of us. We all have the opportunity to lead and really make a difference in this case. It's about passion. It's about passion. If you inspire others to dream more, learn more, become more, you're a leader. And I actually know every single one of you on this call is doing that. Because it is about action and it's about attitude. That is about. Also, leadership is about balancing thinking, doing, listening, leading. Work with leaders and doing a lot of the doing. And I think you need to balance it. I think it's really important that you do spend time thinking how you're leading, that you do obviously spend time doing, that you are leading, that you are out there doing the doing and putting into action, that you are listening, you are engaging, you are spending time with LBWA, leadership by walking around. You are walking around, connecting, engaging, and also you're out there leading. You're out there making a difference. So doing, listening, and leading. I don't know in terms of there was a TED talk. Leadership, there was all a chance to watch it. It is actually one of my favourite TED talks. Please watch it if you only about, he talks about lollipop moments, how leadership, and this is what's interesting around leadership, is that, and I did this last year with a group of about 200 universities, and I asked the same question about, do you see yourself as a leader? And it was actually these university students, hardly any of them put their hand up. It was probably a lot less than 50%. Leadership is about title. And I believe we've made leadership bigger than what it is. I think we've made leadership around, and obviously, there's some amazing leaders that we've had, and we're seeing, Gandhi. There's just so many amazing leaders, in the past and present, and I think that we've made leadership bigger than it is. So that's why we get quite, okay, I can't be a leader, or leadership is this massive thing, and that's why
muted.
It's great, because he talks about leadership being lollipop moments, about those little moments that we can all make a difference to each other. And it's about reflecting on lollipop moments that you've had in your past, but also lollipop moments that you can create for those around you. Please watch the TED Talk, because I would really love to know if you can email me, or I'm happy if you want to write it now here in the questions box, how you're making a difference to others. Because it is the moments that, and I look back in my life, and even today, around the differences we can all make. And imagine if we were having this ripple effect where we were all having these lollipop moments where we're able to inspire others to do more, learn more, or be more because of who we are and our actions and our attitude. I think that is what leadership is about, and that's why I would love you to all watch that TED Talk, and also tell me how you're having lollipop moments and how you're making a difference to others as well. Remember, leadership is about you, and you know what? We're all constantly on this journey, and it is about, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is actually about creating yourself, and we're constantly being, the best we can be through, the people we meet, through the learnings that we have by also, being on this course. It's about creating who you are, and I think that's really powerful, that you have the ability to create yourself, but it's around you focusing on your attitude and how you can make a difference. It is absolutely about creating yourself. So I want you to go out there, and I'm glad Cara loved the TED Talk. Thank you. It is an awesome TED Talk. So please watch it. It's awesome. Show it for your teams, because actually have people go and show it to their teams, and they've actually taken shop and shop lollipop moments for creating for each other. So that's a really cool video. Make it happen. Go out there and make it happen. Leadership's about action. Every day, everyone will go out there and make it, because you don't compare yourself to others. Just focus on you. You stand for what you believe in. Your thoughts makes a difference. So, start, and some of you did say yes. So let me ask you again. Who sees themselves as a leader? Yes, great. You absolutely are, Cara. Who else sees themselves as a leader? Okay, someone's challenging themselves around the word authentic. Okay, cool. Happy to talk about that with you anytime. Great that you're actually thinking about that. Well done, thank you. If you're not putting yes there, I bet you in the next few days or the next few weeks you are going to start saying yes. Okay, you can email me privately if you like as well. I know it's a bit confronting saying yes, but you can also email me privately. And if you do want to know more about, you know, what it's about in terms of, you know, the whole space around, you know, neuroscience, leadership attitude and mindset, and just, you know, and also authentic leadership, please reach out to me. I'm available to help you and give you as much as I can in terms of articles or knowledge around that space. Okay, so some questions for you, and I want to write this down. Okay. Three things to change from the result of this webinar. Three things to change. What would happen if you didn't, and what would happen if you did? Because I can tell you now, we're all on this journey, and we're always changing, we're always learning. I want you to think about what you can do to change who you are, like what you can change to be the best you can be. And it might be that you need to gain knowledge. You need to understand who you authentically are. You know, and if you didn't, what would happen? What would you do? Email me your answers, okay, because I'm sure I'll be able to give you some support there if you need it. It's about taking action. I'm very much around action. I think everything that I'm going to be sharing with you on this journey is so pivotal, it's so important, but it's up to you to take action. It's up to you to take what you're learning on this course and on this journey and put into action. You know, tomorrow, wake up. Wow, how can I create lollipop moments today? How can I make a difference? How can I be the best I can be? How can I be authentic? It's about being conscious around how you can take action now. Okay, remember, thank you. I want to say thank you for all of you. It was brilliant having you on this webinar. Don't forget, you totally rock. Contact us anytime. This is our website, and this is our email. So if you need any more resources around leadership or confidence, we've got our next webinars on confidence, or being authentic, or neuroscience, anything that in the next 7 weeks, if you need anything or any more help around any of the space, shoot me an email. Happy to share. Thank you, you rock. Before I go, has anyone got anything they'd like to share or any questions they'd like to ask? Okay, great. Okay, someone said, okay, 48, okay, we can, absolutely, okay, now we've got a benchmark Viv, that's good, we're going to get that up to maybe the next one, 50. Okay, great, thanks Casey, lots to think about, thanks Yvonne, no problem, you rock. Time to think, excellent. Oh, before you all go, actually, I should tell you I'm about to launch a Neuroscience of Leadership ebook on Amazon, so I will shoot you all the link when it's launched in the next couple of weeks. I think that'll also help you around why neuroscience and mindset and leadership is really important. I think you'll really enjoy it as well. Okay, anyone else? Thanks, great, thank you. I will do. Okay, well, thank you for tonight, everybody. Have a brilliant night. Have a great and I love sharing my thoughts and any further support or assistance. Thanks again. Take care. Bye.